Merry greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Reading Too Much Into. Here is Gargoyles Season 2, Part 3, the Avalon World Tour. Previously on Gargoyles Season 2 review and discussion, after many adventures of heroically protecting Manhattan from evil and modern-day barbarians, Goliath, leader of the Manhattan Clan, and his friend, Detective Elisa Maza, along with loyal clan beast Bronx, are swept away to a magical land to save newly discovered kin from an old enemy. Now they embark on a long odyssey to find home, along with their new friend Angela. An interesting part of Season 2 is about world building. What Greg Weisman had hoped would be leaping points for series spin-offs. Like classic stories of long journeys, such as the Odyssey or Gulliver's Travels, our small group of travelers finds themselves in many different locations, encountering fantastical beings and fulfilling needed purposes. And while longer than necessary, it was an interesting way to explore the mythology and folklore of other cultures, as well as the aforementioned world building. At the end of Avalon Part 3, Tom tells Elisa that Avalon sends you where you need to be, as she assumed after the adventure in Avalon, she, Goliath, and Bronx, along with Angela, were heading straight home. But, after being corrected of the situation by Tom, the travelers find themselves in a continuous cycle of going through the enchanted mists of Avalon to some unknown new destination for a time. Among some of the first places they visited, they discovered the possibility of new gargoyle clans other than their own. However, one was real and the other was illusions created by magic. But which is which?
Gargoyles! Real gargoyles! Those gargoyles are not what they seem.
Aside from finding possible other surviving clans, in keeping with the fantastical, the World Tour reveals many iconic and lesser-known legends from around the world to be real. Among such legends are Raven, of indigenous Canadian legend in the Pacific Northwest, though he's a bit more benevolent in real life than in the show. Famous cryptids, such as the Loch Ness Monster, who may be nearly as famous as Bigfoot, and I had the pleasure to go and see a few years ago. It's also where I first learned of mythical beings I've never heard of until gargoyles, such as the golem from Jewish mythology, or became more acquainted with mythologies only glossed over in school, and even ancient gods and goddesses are real in the Gargoyles universe, like Anubis of ancient Egypt. One of my favorites was the story of the Banshee and Cú Chulainn of Irish mythology, of which I already knew of due to my own Irish heritage, and makes me glad they got a moment in the spotlight, because Irish mythology and representation was highly underrated, and shows that there was more to it than just leprechauns. Plus, we learn a bit more of the mysterious Oberon. Finally, it's also where I first learned of the spider god Anansi of African mythology. Indeed, the Weird Sisters said that all things are true, especially within the Gargoyles universe, which for me was an interesting way to learn about myth and legends from around the world, an interest that still sticks with me to this day, and I hope inspired others too, just as our travelers find inspiration as they learn how important legends still are.
These totem poles, were they inspired by gargoyles?
Gargoyles? Totem poles are carved to honor our animal ancestors. It's tradition.
I know of gargoyles. They have never lived in this place.
You're talking about them like they're real. Raven, gargoyles. They're make-believe.
That's what I used to think. Some creatures in this world are meant to remain legends.
I don't know what I'm seeing. I thought the legend was just that, a story.
Most legends contain the seed of truth.
But legends come to life are not the only things encountered on this long journey. The ancient still influences, or even clashes, with the modern world, as though there are circles in need of completion, or protection from modern threats, such as enemies old and new. Goliath's past of 1,000 years ago literally comes back to haunt him, as he once again encounters the captain of the guard and the Viking Hakon, the true destroyers of the Wyvern clan, or, unexpectedly, having to save Nessie from Dr. Sevarius, who's as smarmy and campy as ever, as he also holds Angela hostage, telling her of his genetic experiments planned for Nessie and eventually her. Even more unexpected was encountering the Pack in Egypt, as they helped someone called the Emir capture Anubis. Yet things take an even more unexpected twist and confusing turns when several clan enemies come together in Paris, France: Macbeth, Demona, and Thalog, creating a situation to question who's the real villain in this game of wits.
You finally figured it out, eh? That voice. It doesn't matter. You'll never leave this cabin alive. Or dead, for that matter.
But the two of you fell to your doom the night of the raid.
Aye, and for 10 times 100 years, our spirits have languished in this stinking hole. Perhaps it was the magic in this place, or maybe just the strength of our hatred that kept us here.
What are you doing to her?
It's a sonar tag. Now that Nessie's condition has stabilized, we're sending her back into the lock. Once she leads us to Big Daddy, we'll capture both of them. Start a little creature farm. With so much rich genetic material, the array of monsters I'll be able to spawn makes even my mind boggle.
You're the only monster here.
Well,
Look who's crashed the party.
Deal with them. Hope you've enjoyed your visit to Egypt, Goliath.
'Cause it's about to be cut short.
I'd sure like to know how you got here, but I'm programmed to shoot first and ask questions later.
This is the mighty Macbeth.
Who the blazes are you?
I'm the monster of Notre Dame, though I may be relocating.
Well, Demona, I admit you've thoroughly humiliated me. But what is this really about?
Haven't you guessed? Your new bride is about to report you missing. Eventually, she'll have you declared legally dead, so that everything you own becomes the property of your poor widow.
The only way for me to die is for one of us to slay the other, in which case both perish.
Sad but true. I guess we'll just have to keep you locked away and hidden until the end of time.
Look out!
Didn't you search him?
Of course I did. Not to worry. Between the two of us, how far can he get?
Tonight it ends, Demona. For now and forever.
You take the West Wing, I'll search the East.
Have a blast, you two.
Yet where there are villains, heroes can also be found, not just our travelers. After their journey began, they needed to accept they were being sent to all these places for a needed reason. Among those reasons was helping others to embrace their own heroic destinies, or find redemption from darker paths. Among such heroes are the Irish hero Cú Chulainn, who was reincarnated as a regular young man in the 90s before discovering his true identity in an origin story perhaps partly inspired by Marvel Comics' Thor. And this was long before Disney bought Marvel Comics, so just bear with me. Another who learned to accept his destiny is Natsilani, who begins as being skeptical of magic's very existence, as well as reluctant to become chief of his tribe, the Haida. But he learns to step up, and may even learn to balance his people's ancient magical ways with his modern science education. Heroes don't always come from nobility, though. Some come from darker paths. One who wanted to be a hero again is Dingo, a former member of the pack who begins his new redemption arc with a nanotech AI called Matrix that fuses with his pack armor. Two others who learn about finding redemption are estranged lovers Taya and Farah McCoo, both learning how and realizing how selfishness, anger, and petty revenge not only hurts yourself, but also those around you. After the defeat of Anansi, who cursed them to become werepanthers, they choose to make the best of their situation and become the new protectors of the area's wildlife. And finally, there are those willing to accept their destiny, yet still have doubts of living up to it, such as Max Lowell, the new guide and guardian of the Golem. And even with help from our heroic travelers, they show anyone can be a hero, and they don't have to do it alone.
Say your goodbyes.
No! I have come to battle!
Rory, what do you see?
I'm not sure. Something from the past, I think. My past.
How do you know that?
I don't know how, but... The spear. The spear of light. Gebolga, the spear of light. Mine again. And I am Cú Chulainn once more.
With Anansi gone, we cannot break the spell. How can I ever atone for this?
I too must atone for the poachers and the panthers I helped them destroy. Maybe we can use our curse to protect this jungle. And maybe that's penance enough for us both.
This isn't going to work. Many more learned than I have tried.
But Rabbi Lo is your ancestor. He spoke to you.
In a dream. He told me the sacred words to write in a dream.
So right. To the mystics, dreams are more powerful than waking thoughts. Your dream reveals your destiny. You are the chosen one.
Which doesn't leave me any choice. No! This is not right. You must follow the words of our ancestors. Love justice and do mercy.
Your city is in capable hands.
And you get used to the weirdness.
Your words have a ring of truth. Speak to us of this new order, this law and order.
Me and Fox here used to be heroes to a lot of folks when the pack was on TV. I've been missing that lately.
What are you getting at, Dingo?
I want to be a hero again. For real this time. You and I, we could be a team, fighting to create law and order.
Yes, we will help you.
Struth. Ripper.
We are now joined. Teach us of law and order.
Quite a responsibility, Dingle.
Yeah. I don't quite know if I'm up to it, but I guess I'll give it a go. Looks like Australia's got a new kind of hero, mates.
While confronting old enemies and helping new heroes find and embrace their destinies, the World Tour also strangely has a way, or a need, to bring things full circle, such as Goliath having to confront literal ghosts of the past, perhaps face some subconscious guilt, and find closure while also helping another find redemption. Even Bronx, who hasn't always gotten a central role in an episode, shows he can be important as he helps Rory Dugan, aka Cuchulainn, rediscover his true identity and destiny, while remaining true to his loyal Garg beast nature to protect. There's even odd cycles of time that needed completion, along with the discovery of a new clan in London and a missing heroic gargoyle named Griff from World War II. With magical time travel, which is always complicated logic no matter how it's written, Goliath learns that the past can't be changed and brings the lost hero forward in time. And one of the more unusual situations Goliath finds himself in was in a kind of love triangle with Demona and his own clone Thalog, which may have also revealed Thalog's Oedipal complex, even though he isn't related to Demona. Maybe in another weirdly circular way, it could be considered a love rectangle if Goliath's and Elisa's feelings for each other are to be considered. Yeah, it's just weird.
Old fears. That's all.
He's not telling the truth.
This place is full of bad memories. Old wounds bleed as bright as new ones sometimes. He'll be all right. I hope.
Skills may rust indeed, but true friendship stays bright. Now, my faithful hound, we make an end.
Thalog! Demona is not the Notre Dame monster. You are.
Thalog was already here when I arrived in Paris.
You mean the two of you?
It was love at first flight.
Love, Demona? You no longer know the meaning of the word. Hate is what you live for now. No doubt you're turning Thalog against the human race, just as you tried to turn me.
Listen how he tries to compare himself with you. It's jealousy, pure and simple. He lost my love, and he can't stand for you to have it.
Thalog, despite the vast knowledge you were programmed with, you're still a clone, new to this world. Demona's taking advantage of that fact. She and Macbeth are planning something behind your back. My angel of the night keeps nothing from me. We have no secrets from each other. Then you're beyond my help.
You sugar. The war, you know.
There is a great deal of hardship, then.
Oh, yes. It's been terrible for us.
For us? We're not important. Unless the Nazis are stopped here and now, the future of the entire world is in jeopardy.
Yes, but we belong down here, protecting our home. If the fight comes to us, so be it.
Leo's right. The Nazis are a human problem.
What do you think, Goliath?
I do not presume to advise, but in my experience, human problems become gargoyle problems.
Finally, someone talking sense. I'm beginning to wonder if this night is ever fated to end.
Perhaps fate can somehow be... Ah! Cheated.
Well, my friend, we're even on the life-saving now.
You cannot return to your home. Fate is conspiring against you.
What do you mean? The store's not far from here.
I see now that history is impossible to change. The fact is, you did not return home in 1940.
Say, where are you really from, anyway?
Not where. When. Es la grati mori tempi et intervalia!
Speaking of not knowing what's happened to those we care about, back home, a worried clan talks about their missing friends and consider what to do next without them. Yet, life goes on, and Manhattan still needs protecting, and it will take two people to step up as leaders and keep up morale. In the process of searching and contemplating, a threat emerges from Fang, a resentful member of Talon's clan, as he attempts a coup and to rule those weaker than him through fear. But with teamwork between the Manhattan clan and Maggie the cat to free Talon and stop Fang's goons, they succeed, and Brooklyn declares he will lead to the best of his ability, and Talon steps up as leader of the Labyrinth, as he bans all weapons and declares only justice prevails. Between the newly emerged leaders, an alliance is forged, knowing it's what their loved ones would have wanted.
Any luck, lads?
Not a trace of them.
I've been up the east side and down the west. No sign of Bronx or Goliath.
It's not like Goliath to disappear for nights with no word.
Guys, I was just at Elise's place. Her mail's been piling up, and it looks like poor Cagney hasn't eaten for days.
Do you think Elisa is with Goliath in Bronx?
Good question. Here's another. What do we do now?
Why are you looking at me?
Because Goliath chose you to lead the clan should something happen to him. And I'd say disappearing without a trace qualifies as something.
Hey, he'll come back. He has to.
Yeah? But what if he doesn't?
Come on, lighten up, you guys. They're probably on a secret mission, or...
Yeah, right.
So, the king finally returns to his little domain.
Open up, Fang. I'm not in the mood.
Open the door, Fang. Protect the weak, Fang. Oh, Fang this, oh, Fang that.
For someone who's not in charge, you sure like dishing out orders.
Please, open the door, Fang. It's been a long night and I'm very tired.
Yeah, you're tired, all right. Tired and weak. That's why I'm taking over.
Yeah, right. You and what army?
This army, pal. And you're our first prisoner of war.
Seems neither of us can escape the role of leader.
Yeah, try as I might.
So, what are you gonna do now, lad?
I'll lead the best I can. But that doesn't mean we give up hope or the search. We'll find them. I swear to it.
Agreed. But our main responsibility is to protect those who are still here.
Yeah, that's what Goliath and Elisa would want.
Sometime later, worlds unexpectedly collide as heroes from different eras are brought together and whisked away to an isle of towers, glass, and stone, and even meet up with the Manhattan clan. King Arthur and Griff of the London clan are given a test by the Stone of Destiny, after Griff reveals a riddle about the whereabouts of Excalibur. After a run-in with Macbeth, introductions are made, and the new friends even touch base about where the Avalon travelers are and what's been going on. the Manhattan clan agreed to help the new duo search for Excalibur, which comes to the attention of Macbeth, who now seeks the legendary sword for his own reasons. After an epic magical battle, Arthur emerges the victor, and a kind of honorable alliance is made between the two ancient kings. Arthur then chooses to quest for Merlin, if he's still alive, and knights Sir Griff, who wants to accompany him. In a way, a bigger world has opened up for all of them.
Bad news! I'd like some answers first.
Thank you, my friends, if I may so call you.
Who are you? Name's Griff of London. And I guess this really is King Arthur. We're looking for Excalibur, the sword.
You are King Arthur?
I am. Are you of Goliath's clan? He told me to seek you out if I came to Manhattan.
You've seen Goliath? Is he
Are
all right?
Bronx and Elisa
When
with
are they
him?
coming back?
Where are they?
I met up with Goliath in London.
But Elisa's mother saw them in Nigeria.
And Halcyon Renard saw them in Prague.
I met them on Avalon, when Elisa awakened me from my enchanted sleep. Only Avalon knows when they will return.
Excalibur.
No! Excalibur is mine! No.
Ha! Your time is past, Arthur Pendragon. Macbeth, son of Findlay, is the one true king.
No! This is wrong!
You are the one.
Yes. Though you too are a king, you know Excalibur is mine. No king can lead without his knights. You have fought a good fight. I would have you with me.
I have been a king too long to serve any man. But if you ever need me to stand by your side, I will come.
What will you do now?
I will stay through the day. But tomorrow night, I must begin another quest. To find my friend and teacher, Merlin. And somehow, I must get Griff back to London.
The truth is, I'd rather stay with you.
Only a knighted champion can travel with me now.
Yes, well, I understand, of course. And it's been an adventure. A story for the hatchlings someday.
I could not ask for a better champion at my side. By my hand and by this sword, I name thee knight, Sir Griff.
In a way, hope is renewed for our heroes at home. Just like the travelers, in a sense, spread hope around the world. And just as I hope you enjoyed this video and will help me reach more subscribers by summoning Oberon's children of the YouTube algorithm. For now, we leave off here, even though the World Tour isn't over yet, and there are still unanswered questions, such as, will our travelers ever make it home? Until next time, I'm Cosmina Inspira, and thanks for watching. Stay inspired and keep defending the night.